residence, the lady of the house speaking.
In the 1990s, keeping up appearances was the crown jewel of British sitcoms. Following the exploits of hoity-toity housewife Hyacinth, it followed all of her wacky adventures and showing that the world around here really didn't care for her all that much.
I think that's most unlikely.
What kind of attitude is that? If we don't try, we won't know, will we?
No, madam.
She would spend the entire series trying to impress people that either A, didn't like her at all, or 2, were just trying to be nice to her, and either one resulted in hilarity. The show premiered on PBS Public Broadcasting and was sandwiched between masterpiece theater and equally great sitcom One Foot in the Grave, showing many people what humor was like across the pond. But despite being decades and decades old, the show is still as fun to watch now as it was when it first came out, all because of the relatability of Hyacinth.
It's simply an accident of birth that I'm not even more important. Even aristocratic. People who try to pretend they're superior makes it so much harder for those of us who really are.
Everybody knows a housewife that's holier than thou and thinks she's better than everybody else. Hell, you probably got one in your family right now. And it's that key factor of relatability that makes the show forever relevant. But just because something has been around for decades upon decades does not always mean it's good. And this is the prime example. Boy, oh boy, we got ourselves some wax candy bottles. This all came from the mid-1950s and 1960s when there was a trend that I like to call the Jello-pocalypse. Oh God. There was some big fascination with form over function. It didn't matter if it tasted good or not. All that mattered was, did it look impressive and was it fancy? This trickled down to candy as well, giving us candies which had a lot more packaging than actual candy. Wax lips, those rolls of paper with those little candy dots on top of them, and circus peanuts. I don't know anyone that eats circus peanuts now, but they still make them. I've seen these things. I see them all the time. I've seen them since I was a kid. Nothing about that seems appealing to me. It's these hard, big wax bottles, right? They're very true to their name there. And on top of that, they're not all that flexible. You would think with something like this, you would have a gel factor, right? You would have some sort of element where you could eat the whole bottle like a gummy treat. There's something gummy about it. Now, the first real problem that you're going to encounter is that there's no way to open this thing without making a tremendous mess. It is here that we require the power of the blade. Ah, yes, my favorite blade that costs $2 and yet somehow is full tang. You gotta decapitate this thing as if it's wrong. Oh, okay, it's squirting. She's a squirter. I suppose you could bite off the top and drink it from there. I don't want to feel like I'm eating candles. Oh, wow. Gasoline and cherry Kool-Aid.
Delicious.
Oh my God. Oh, this is what cough syrup tastes like. That is 110% Robitussin. I feel like I'm Robitrippin right now. It feels like it's from the 1960s. I don't think this ever expired, dude. Unbelievably sour and gasoline. It tastes like it smells. It has to be diluted. And I don't think they mention any of that on the package. Like, they don't mention that you have to, like, mix this with something else. They just, you take it straight like you're drinking Everclear. There's no way anybody intentionally puts themselves through this. Whoever does is clearly going through something very rough. And if that's you, man, I hope it gets better, but this is not the answer. Oh God, the aftertaste is even worse. You gotta rinse your mouth. If G.G. Allen was a candy, it would be this.
Well, it's all over now. All over everywhere.